Imagine navigating a spacecraft toward Mars. The thrusters must fire for exactly the duration needed to counter a passing asteroid's gravity, which means your navigation computer has to calculate the sine of an arbitrary angle, say 37.452 degrees. But strip away the software, and all you'll find inside that computer are switches that can only add and multiply. A computer is a lightning-fast abacus. It can't pull out a protractor. So how does a machine that only adds and multiplies compute the shape of a wave, or the curve of reality? The answer: any smooth curve hides a secret polynomial. And if you know everything about it, at one microscopic point, you can reconstruct its entire future. This isn't a parlor trick, it's the invisible infrastructure of the modern world. When engineers simulate airflow over a fuel-efficient wing, the equations are too complex for exact formulas, so the computer breaks them into simple polynomials. When your game engine renders cloth folding or light scattering off water, it leans on the same approximations to hold 60 frames a second. From neural network optimization to GPS satellites correcting for Einstein's time dilation, to the probability clouds of quantum mechanics, exact solutions are rare. The universe is messy and nonlinear. We need a translator that converts its untamable functions into pure addition and multiplication. That bridge is the Taylor series. Let's face the core problem directly. Take f of x equals sine x. Elegant, but a wild animal. Mathematically, sine of 0 is 0, sine of pi over 2 is 1, but sine of 0.2? Without a calculator, you're stuck. Sine is transcendental. It transcends basic algebra. Now imagine you're stranded on a deserted island, and you must build a table of sine values with nothing but a stick and sand, knowing the function's behavior at only one point, the origin. Our goal is a new function, p of x, built entirely from additions, multiplications, and powers of x, a polynomial that mimics sine perfectly. But how does a predictable polynomial line up with a wave that wiggles forever? Let's build it piece by piece. Looking only at the origin, the simplest polynomial is a flat line. P0 of x equals C0. Since sine of 0 is 0, C0 is 0, but the moment we step away from the origin, this line fails completely. So let's give it direction. Match the slope. The derivative of sine x is cosine x, and cosine of 0 is 1. Update the polynomial to p1 of x equals x, the tangent line. Near the origin, it hugs the curve beautifully, but further out, sine bends while our line shoots off straight. The line is blind to the bend. To capture the bend, we need the second derivative, the concavity. For sine, that's negative sine x, which is 0 at the origin, so a quadratic adds nothing here. Go one further. The third derivative, negative cosine x, is negative 1 at the origin. Add a cubic term with that weight and the line bends, curving down to the right, up to the left, hugging the wave over a much wider span. Each derivative we match is another instruction. Match my position, my velocity, my acceleration, my jerk. With every step, the polynomial learns more about its curve. Let's formalize this. Build a general polynomial around x equals a. Plug in x equals a every term. With x minus a vanishes, leaving c0 equals f of a our anchor point. Take the derivative, plug in x equals again. The higher terms vanish once more, giving c1 equals f prime of a. Do it again. The second derivative gives c2 equals f double prime of a over 2 times 1. The third derivative gives c3 equals f triple prime of a over 3 times 2 times 1. See the pattern? 1, 2 times 1, 3 times 2 times 1. That's the factorial sequence, the footprint left behind by repeated differentiation. This gives us the universal formula for the Taylor series. Coefficient of the nth term, no memorization required, just the logical consequence of matching derivatives. Watch this formula in action. Start with a single point on a curve, at first, just a rigid line. But as we add higher-order terms, quadratic, cubic, fourth power, fifth power, the polynomial begins to Ripple and flow, wrapping itself around the target function like an invisible magnet, is pulling it into shape. With few terms, it only fits the neighborhood near the anchor. But as the term count climbs to 10, 20, 50, the approximation conquers more terrain, locking onto every crest and trough, driving the error to 0. An infinite sum of straight, predictable power functions perfectly replicates the fluid curves of nature. Three of the most famous Taylor series, all centered at 0. First, e to the x, unique because it's its own derivative. Every derivative at 0 equals 1, so its series is beautifully clean, every power and every factorial in perfect step. Next, sine x, its even-powered terms vanish, and the odd-powered terms alternate sign because sine is an odd, symmetric function. Differentiate that term by term, and you unlock cosine x, containing only the even powers. These three share the same mathematical DNA. E to the x holds every term, while sine and cosine split them. Odd terms with alternating signs, even terms the rest. This connection is what let Euler unite them into history's most famous equation. E to the I theta equals cosine theta plus I sine theta. Your graphics card can't process transcendental functions for every ray of light in real time, so it runs truncated Taylor polynomials at the hardware level, trillions of operations a second. In machine learning, Newton's method builds a local quadratic approximation of a massive loss landscape, using the first two Taylor terms to find the fastest path downhill. Even Einstein's relativistic kinetic energy formula expanded for velocities much smaller than light speed, collapses down as its higher-order terms vanish, leaving Newton's familiar 1/2 mv squared. Newton's classical formula isn't a separate law. It's simply the first Taylor approximation of Einstein's universe. That's the single-point illusion, the whole universe, hiding in one derivative at a time.
Subscribe
to MathSpark 8 for more.